Welcome to the studio. Today, very important new mission since my recent song Save the Day will be released on Lost Frequencies label this Friday. I'll link it down below, the pre-save or the full song. When you're interested, go check it out. It's the one you'll hear in the intro in a second. And whenever I have a song finished and ready for release, it's time to make the next one, something better, something that works even nicer in a club kind of environment. Club music is back, at least for me personally. COVID made going to a club really impossible, so I have an even bigger urge to make this kind of music here in the studio and share it with the world. So let's get started. 4 or 5 hours making some rough sketches, melodic techno, and showcasing to you how I actually do it. I got 3 sketches. It was a whole lot of fun to make this kind of music because you're way less restricted. Usually I make like more pop influence stuff with vocals, and then it's always you have to serve the vocal and do whatever the vocal needs to make it shine. Right here, just instrumentals, you just go for big synthesizer sounds and you're golden. There are some very important rules when it comes to melodic techno you should definitely follow to make it sound like melodic techno if that's what you're into. First of all, it needs to have this certain vibe. It's kind of chilled and it's very dark and very moody, melancholic. You can do that by playing the right chords if you even need any kind of chords. And then of course, sound selection is key. The beats are usually, or the samples of the beats are usually more techno influenced, techno kicks, techno snares and claps and hats. The tempo is usually between 118 on the slow extreme and maybe 130 on the fast extreme, usually more like 122 to 126. The bass, most of the time sustained with maybe a sub layer underneath that does a rhythm. Then we have sometimes chords to make it more chilled melodic techno, sometimes no chords to make it more techno. And the entire song usually is very slow, like the feel of it, because you have like sustained bass lines that don't move a whole lot. Then you have a lot of sustained synthesizer sounds, and you don't play it like you don't play a 1-bar melody the entire time. It's more like it's popping in, out again, it's breathing a lot. There is a lot of room in between, which makes tracks usually slow, but to still have a club feel, still make it danceable. It's all like all of the speeds is in the hi-hats and the percussions, like in the not melodic kind of parts. They're usually like 16th notes, really fast. If you remove them, the tracks are really chilled and slow, and that kind of combination is what, in my opinion, makes melodic techno. But now let's open up Logic, show you those 3 songs, play them to you, and show you like the details and how they're actually done, so you know if you want to do melodic techno, some ideas and how you could actually pull it off. The first one, quite simple. We got a kick drum. This one was made with kick 2. To make the click disappear even more, I cut away the top end a little, and also the low end 37 Hertz, just to make it a little less muddy and sub heavy. Then very simple bass line. I didn't quantize it, it's in there as I played it, just to have like this feel, this organic, kind of wobbly, and the bass line might not be the most typical for a melodic techno, but the variation at the end is very typical, like going up, jumping octaves with like a bass main sound to just make it like squeak a little. And then of course later on you can, it's a trillion bass by the way, so you can just straight up copy it, play around with the cutoff a little. Just to keep it interesting over time. And then let's see, we got a very cheap Kashmir hat loop, shaker loop. Definitely going to replace that one. It just doesn't belong there. It sounds a little off. Whoever played it didn't play it as I needed for this song. And then later on, introducing like a main sound. And on this main sound, you can go crazy. Again, it's like this breathing room. There are some notes, then again, a huge gap, then notes again, this on and off makes every time it hits, like nice again in a club. You're like dancing and then it just hits you. Then it's gone again. You get used to it not being there and then it's there again. This way you can create very easily excitement. Then there are some bends on it and some modulation. Of course, this one I made it with Diva. A little bit of delay, reverb, and you can then again also automate the cutoff. That's really just a matter of being creative. And I also started, again, all of these are very rough sketches. Usually I need for a song a month. So I do a bunch of rough sketches, pick the best one, and then like work on it until it's 100% finished. This one is not mixed, it's just like the rough idea. But I think this idea will like maybe help you to come up with your own melodic techno stuff. There are some rules, you just need to follow them to make it sound like it. The drums, fast. And that's it with the first idea. Like I like to keep it at that, like very rough, wait a week, collect more, pick the best one. You can let me know which one you prefer the most. This one was the first one. Let's pick the second one. I think the second one is even like cooler. That one has my favorite sound. Like this entire song is based on this one sound. I already used it in another song, but then it just clashed because the sound in itself has a sample that is like, has another note to it that just clashes with everything. It's quite hard to make something. Again, very rough. We just got a kick right here. Again, very techno, very simple, very deep, very low. And on top of that, like the lead, that is at the same time also the main bass. Has this old school progressive kind of vibe. I personally think like progressive house music, at least like 10, 12 years ago, kind of slowly merged with techno to create melodic techno. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got another sound on top, like a pad. It's an alchemy pad that has like these voices in there. At first, when I played it and went through the presets, it sounded kind of cheesy, but the more I listen to it, it has like this vibe. I don't know. I think this song really just needs an arrangement and keep it super minimal. Like kick, the rest of the drums, I still need to program in there. This voice kind of pad with the choir and this main lead synthesizer sound. No additional bass line, no additional sounds. I tried it out, I played something to it, but everything, I tried multiple stuff. It just distracts from the main pad and the main lead synthesizer sound. So I think those two are kind of my vocal replacement, and I should now just follow these two and build everything around it. I like that idea. It has this vibe, and like hitting a vibe is very important. Everything else right here is very, very rough. The main lead sound is an Omnisphere patch, a little bit of OTT just to give it that brightness, EQ, just cutting away the low frequencies, and like one resonating frequency around 3K. And the pad, just low cut, compressor, LFO tool to give it that sidechain pump, and a reverb, of course, Valhalla Vintage Verb. Quite long, quite big reverb to make it really lush and wide. And the third one, I spent the most time because like I have a singer-songwriter For the song, actually, I think in exactly 1 week we'll do like a remote session, like Skype. I'll record everything, put it here on this YouTube channel. If you're interested, just like subscribe. There will be a bunch of interesting stuff in the coming days. Some new gear, some new vocals, more gear. Like it will be quite exciting. I'm already thrilled. But let's listen to this song right here really quick. Again, like a kind of random going up, down the scales, octave jumping main melody, which I really like. The sound is a little whack, but it needs to be like that. We got a kick again. Drums. Again, fast, very simple. Bass line, very low, sustained. And here, of course, glide. Let me check. If you go to main, there is like the glide. You just put it up to, I have it here at 0.23 seconds. Then we got an arpeggiator that plays along to it. Very simple notes, just like up, down, up, down. And I made that one with Diva. Also here, very simple, the main sound. I could add more effects like a dub delay. I think that's also very important of melodic techno, like having this call response gaps in between, but filling them out with something. For example, I could just have like the main sound in the break. It's cool in a club, like these kind of bold moments where there is like nothing and just like something spheric, like grabbing your attention, and then it hits again on the drop. That's kind of exciting, like having the contrast between like almost nothing and then like a whole lot that just punches you straight in your face. Let's see if I got anything else in there. I think I got some like sustained pad kind of stuff. No sustained stuff. That's the let's call it the CamelPhat rhythm. You hear it on so many songs. It's a little overused. I did it here just to demonstrate it to you. I don't know if it will stay in that song because it's already like it was done too much. But right here are the MIDI notes. It's a very simple rhythm. I split it up into 2 sounds. Like the very high and attack heavy. And the noisy one, both together. Let's add kick and bass. Let's automate it a little. Very simple. Melodically, musically, very simple. The rest is sound design, gluing it all together and hitting that style. Generally speaking, a very boring kind of music because there is not a lot happening, and musically there is not a lot. But the automation bits and pieces, like the opening, closing, the movement, the contrast, popping in, popping out, that's what makes it exciting again. And that's what I'm loving about melodic techno. And I think that's also why I'm so drawn to it right now. Like the recent song on Lost Frequencies label was melodic techno, the previous one on his label as well. Both I mean, one of them is out, did amazing, was played by a bunch of big DJs. And the second one will be released this weekend, but already got like some amazing feedback by some of the top DJs on the planet actually playing it due to COVID not being around anymore that much. In some certain areas on the planet where they DJ again, it's being actually played. It was also played on Tomorrowland, just a virtual Tomorrowland, but it was played there, which is a huge accomplishment for me. I will spend probably the next 2-3 weeks finishing or further developing these songs, keep you updated. Let me know which one out of those 3 you actually like best. And of course, don't forget to tune in tomorrow again, another episode here in the studio, making music. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Sign out.